Welcome, Tom. Can you hear me all right?
I can. Can you hear me?
Certainly can. All right, we'll get it rolling. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I know high school state wrestling started today, so we're missing some players. But if you got a question for Coach, you can throw your hand up in the chat. I'll start, Tom, with what can you tell us about the Huskers? I know they've lost 4 Big Ten duels, but what about the lineup? It looks like they've got some tough matches inside their lineup.
It's like any other duel. We got to be ready to go, and we're going into their domain, and it's probably senior night for them. And they're a talented team, so we got to be ready. It's the next date on the calendar and the final duel before the Big Ten championships. There's a lot at stake.
Tom, we'll take a question from Steve Batterson.
Yeah, Tom, how would you assess the progress of your team to this point?
We got work to do, and we're going to keep working. This has been a year that has been a little unique, and at least in my career, dealt with a lot, and it's unique in one way that's the same for everybody that's managing college sports teams, and that's the COVID relief stuff. But, you know, we've had our fair share of adversity, and our guys have put that to the side. So that's probably where it's unique. We got work to do. Onward.
Next question, Tom. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, what do you feel your guys got out of last weekend's experience down in Texas?
I think that it was a dual meet with Oklahoma State. We're going to wrestle them every year. 2 most storied programs in college wrestling, and 2 very relevant programs still in college wrestling. Wherever it's held, it doesn't matter. What did we get out of the experience of wrestling in Texas? I mean, it's a good stage or whatever, but it was a dual meet with Oklahoma State, and we had to be ready to go.
Next question, Tom, from Ross Bartachek.
Hey, Tom. Earlier this season, you guys had a duel on Friday night, and you kind of described the performance as flat. But you were kind of, one of the things you talked about was having a short turnaround to a Sunday duel, to kind of correct those mistakes. So I guess I was wondering, with this being the last duel and kind of a little bit of a layoff there to the Big Tens, is there any extra importance on, coming out and having a good performance this week? Is there any added emphasis?
I don't look at it like that. We didn't perform that particular Friday, and it was convenient that we had Sunday ready to go. I remember the conversation on the radio with Mark Ironside. He's the one that brought that up, and he was right. No matter what your performance looks like, you got to go forward. And as far as the next competition, that's your best chance to go forward. So we were fortunate to be able to go in less than 48 hours in that particular case. Our guys move forward very well. And, our program, I mean, we're not new with this, so, we want to perform at our best every time. But if, something happens, you pick up the pieces and you move forward, no matter what the next date of the next competition is.
Next question, Tom, from J.R. Ogden.
Hey, Tom. This being your last competition before the Big Tens, what do you want to see this Sunday?
We want to see what the program's about. We want to see what our guys are about. Wrestling's a very simple sport in theory, very difficult to execute that theory. And we need to be at our best. We need to be scoring points. We need to be weathering storms if it happens, building leads. And if we're doing that, then we're doing what philosophy of the program is.
Tom, the next question from Chris Werner.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, I have a two-parter. The first one is about Drake Ayala. Obviously, he's been out for the last couple of weeks. How has he kind of progressed? How have you kind of seen him progress in that time? And then secondly, the estimated cost of the new wrestling building kind of went up. How do you think that will help both your men's program and now the women's program as well?
First question, I forgot the first question already.
Drake Ayala.
Not really. I didn't forget it. I was kidding. I'm not going to comment on Drake. He made the trip to Texas. He's been training, and he's been training ever since he went down, and he's, as good as he can be, and we'll make a decision on Sunday on whether he goes or not. One thing I will say about Drake Ayala is that we like how he marches. We like how he gets ready to go. He's a leader at a young age in his actions. So we gotta be really, really smart with our direction with him. Second question, I don't know. How much was the facility going to cost? You say it's really expensive or something? You said it went up in cost?
Yeah, I think it went up from like 17 million to about 23, something of that.
17 million to 23. Well, I'll tell you what. I know that it's a challenge to get, mobilized, let alone to get down the road, let alone to get close to the finish. And we've done all three of those things. We got mobilized, we got down the road, and then we got close to the finish, and we're still raising money. So we didn't stop raising money. You said it was started at 17. We didn't stop raising money at 17. This is a very important piece of Iowa athletics' future, and we got to do it right. I guess that's the comment that I would make, and we're doing it right. Our administration is doing it right. We've looked at this thing with our foundation, with Kevin Collins and his team, in a very serious manner from the very, very beginning. This was never something that was, taken for granted. Our fans are the best fans in the world. Our donors are the best donors in the world, and they stepped up. And we're fortunate to be able to be close to the end. And, it looks like we are going to, be going next week to the Board of Regents. And it seems like there could be some good news. And we're excited about that.
Anything else for Tom? All right, we're good.
Thanks,
Good luck
Brewer.
Monday.